Hello guys, welcome back for another video.
For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way.
Today's video is going to be a long one, I think it's going to be a long one. I can never really truly predict, but I know that I have a lot of insight on today's topic, and dating and the topic of dating very much intrigues me, and it interests me enough to want to rant and rave about. And today's video is going to be sort of a rant about my own personal thoughts on being jaded, and I can't wait to share with you guys because I think my perspective could really help a lot of different people. I had a very insightful day and a lot of reflecting happened today. And because I am doing my own shadow work, essentially I'm going through a self-love, self-discovery journey. And when you're going through these different moments in your life, when you're growing and evolving and changing and becoming the best version of you, you touch on different subjects that you maybe need to work on. And one of the things that I came across was the constant conversation about being jaded in relationships. And I actually get a significant amount of DMs from you guys about how to allow yourself to open up and be emotionally there for a good guy after being wronged in a past relationship, or how to allow men to become providers when you didn't have a father who was a provider. There's a lot of different things that could really be the reason why you are jaded in your own personal life. And I have to say, from someone who isn't jaded, I think I have a really good perspective that I can share with you guys that will hopefully help you grow and make you feel a little bit more understood, and it will allow you to do the work that is necessary in order to actually be a happier human being in the long run. I think that a healthy approach to dating in itself is to give everybody equal opportunity, but go into every experience a little bit smarter than the last time you were in an experience. So I think for me, I can kind of dissect this a little bit more into the video, but I think going into each scenario, a new relationship, a new situationship, a new person that you're meeting in general, you can go into it more sound and more self-aware with whom you are and how you know you're going to approach a situation without having jaded feelings and allowing your preconceived notions of what dating actually is to really harm the experience of actually getting to know someone. I think a lot of the times, because we feel like we already know the ending right when it starts, we could actually sabotage something possible and good for ourselves. And I think that because I've experienced a lot of fuckboys, but I've also experienced some really great guys, I have a really good perspective on the entire topic. So we're gonna get into it. Do not forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe down below, and follow me on Instagram if you guys wanna, keep up with my life. I post a lot on my Instagram, so please go on there. And whenever I'm sitting on my floor, just know it's gonna be a good video, because this is when I really get into the nitty gritty. I'm currently in the middle of creating a nice bachelorette pad for myself, and I'm trying to figure out exactly where I want to film, but as of right now, the floor is where I want to be for when I'm doing videos like this. So I hope that you guys enjoy it. If you're not watching this and you need to listen to it podcast style on your way to work, please do. This is essentially my podcast. I know a lot of you guys asked me to make one. As of right now, this is going to be the podcast. So listen to this if you must. It is here for you guys to have, on in the background. But I think that today's video is going to really help a lot of people who are going through relationships, and they're experiencing some of the same type of experiences over and over and over again due to their own feelings and emotions and hindrances. So let's get into it now. Also, I want to thank BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. You guys know I love working with BetterHelp. Again, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and let's just get into the video about being jaded. All right, let's do a brief intermission. We're gonna talk about BetterHelp. Thank you so much, BetterHelp, for sponsoring today's video. So I wanted to talk about getting therapy and having access to it in an easy way. BetterHelp, I have talked about them several times on this channel, is an amazing way to get a licensed therapist in less than 48 hours. Like, it's amazing. You can literally go on there now, say what you're going through, and they will assign you a therapist that is perfect for you. There are 20,000 plus different therapists across the world that you can speak to. So if you feel like there is somebody that you want to be matched with that's a little bit better than your previous therapist, they are going to make sure that you have the perfect match that that will allow you to really feel comfortable in your therapy sessions. This is also a worldwide access, so anybody is able to access BetterHelp from their homes today. And you can do phone consults or video chat depending on what you're more comfortable with. This is allowing you to just do things at your level of comfort and to make sure and ensure that you are feeling safe and secure in your particular sessions. You get to skip that uncomfortable waiting room feeling when you're going to a therapy session. It is also going to help destigmatize the feeling that therapy isn't good for you or that you don't need it, because a lot of the times we are struggling, whether it's with our happiness, with work, with life, with friends, with family, and you're going to have a nice attentive person to speak to, and you're going to be able to send them a message anytime that you would like if you want to speak to them. I also want to say that BetterHelp is a little bit more affordable than the traditional therapy sessions, and they do have financial assistance available for those who do need it. So this is really accessible for everyone and anyone. I want you guys to really prioritize your happiness. It's so important to do so, and I'm going to always talk about this on this channel because as someone who has been in therapy my whole life, I genuinely do support it and think it's really important to prioritize and make sure that you are feeling well. So visit betterhelp.com/Hailey today and let me know how you guys are feeling. I cannot wait to hear about it. So I get like so many messages from girls saying things to me like, oh, like I dated this guy, he did this and this and this to me, it's just gonna be me and my cat alone forever. And I think it's funny and cute because I think we've all been there. Like we've all had that like emotion where we're just like so sick of fucking dating. Like, God, like did this guy have to do the same thing that the other guy did over and over and over again? Like honestly, like it gets exhausting and I totally get it. I don't like to be a know-it-all, so I don't want to come into this video being like, yeah, like I know everything, because the truth of the matter is I don't. I've only been dating the current dating climate for about 7 months now, and it's an interesting dating climate for sure. I was in a relationship for a very long time, but I have a very interesting perspective on being jaded because I got to experience both sides of the spectrum. I got to experience fuckboys, guys that will literally lie to you, play you in your face and disrespect you. And then I had guys who genuinely loved and cared for me and nurtured me and made sure that we were really a great bond and a great unit. And it was a very genuine, loving relationship. So I really have experienced both sides. And because I got to experience that, I am self-aware from the fuckboy part of it. I truly am. Like I feel like I am the most self-aware I've ever been in my life due to the experiences that I've had in the 7 months of me just dating. And then I have a very beautiful outlook on love and the future for myself due to the relationships that I have had in my life that were beautiful and nurturing and genuine and true. So I feel like because of these two experiences, it meshes a really self-aware, sound person. And because of this, I am not jaded at all. A lot of the times I think we go through experiences where we meet someone and they show us that they're just not for us, and it keeps repeating itself, and you'll go through like, okay, one guy, he cheated. The other guy, he lied to you. The guy after that was wasting your time. The guy after that was, you know, just trying to sleep with you. I mean, it's like time after time after time, and it's upsetting. But I have to say this, and this is to me a really positive outlook on dating in general, is I would much rather a guy play me in my fucking face and me realize it and leave than a guy play me behind my back for years and years and years and me never know about it. I saw this TikTok recently of this girl, and she was talking about her friend, about how her friend essentially had a whole other relationship in life for many, many years. Like I'm talking 10 plus years. And he ended up picking a random fight with her one day and leaving. And as much as I think that any experience that we go through in life, we can truly be resilient and grow from, I have to admit that an experience like that would really do some damage to a lot of us, because having a man essentially pretend to like you and love you and care for you for many years, when in reality, that's not their true feelings for you at all, and they were just waiting until the right moment to up and leave you, is very scary. And I have to admit that the person that experienced this is probably very jaded, and it's going to be very difficult for this person to really move on and grow from this experience. But I have to say that most of us, and I'm sure a lot of you guys watching this video, if you are jaded and you do experience that was not something that is even remotely close to what you're going through. You maybe had a guy talk to you for 2 months and he played you even 2 years. And I understand it feels exhausting to go through something where you're like, oh my God, like I have to date all over again just to be played again. And I get it. And you know what? I think the best case scenario is when somebody plays you in your face, at least you can say, well, hey, at least you played me in my face so that I can leave. And now I know you're just not for me. And I think that that outlook on things is so positive, because when you realize that somebody is just not for you, or they're just not the one, it's a lot better than the, I guess, opposite of that, where you think that they are the one, but they're really just being terrible to you. And I know that every experience in dating is different, and maybe some of you guys did experience the opposite of that. But even in those instances, I mean, how can you say that you grew from this experience? I would say that you know, you definitely walked out of it more self-aware, and you're able to now be on your own without a person who's disrespecting you. And a lot of the times in life, everything really just boils down to suitability, compatibility, right timing, things like that. Because, you know, for me, I always explain this to people when people ask me, you know, why did my last relationship end? And the truth of the matter is, it was timing. It was not our time to be together. I think that had timing been different, him and I would definitely be married by now. And I'm okay with that, and that's okay with me. Like, it's not something that I am overly upset about, because to me, that's just life. And it's, to me, very comforting knowing that I know why things didn't work out. And I think for me, because of this experience, I was able to really walk out of it saying, like, well, at least I know that I can find love again. At least I know love is for me. And a lot of us, you know, want to be in love and want to be married. So what makes you think that you're not going to get that? Manifest that for yourself. Manifest, you know, if you want to be married, manifest that. You want to have a beautiful, amazing husband or wife, manifest that. You want to have children, manifest that. Like, I really do believe in, if something is meant for you, it will happen for you. And if you feel in your heart of hearts, your intuition is telling you that it's meant for you, then it's gonna happen. So overthinking every situation in your life by saying, oh my God, am I gonna ever end up with somebody? All guys are so terrible. There's a million different negative thoughts that be going through your head, because I know at the end of the day, Hailey is gonna be married, Hailey's gonna have kids, and Hailey's gonna have a husband. That's a long-term relationship. I am not overly scared and chaotic about my future. And because I'm not, when I do meet guys who just are not for me, and trust me, I've experienced a good amount of those guys, I say to myself, well, at least I know he's not going to be my husband, and I just keep it moving. I really do. It's something that is just so simple and easy for me. And I also think that when you also enjoy yourself as a person, you don't become overly obsessed with the idea of making somebody yours. I think that you realize that when it's your time to meet that person, it's gonna just come naturally, it's gonna feel good, and it's going to just be like a magnetic feeling. And being jaded essentially stems from, I personally think, fear, and it stems from trauma. So how can we fix these things, right? So for me, if I was a jaded person, I would definitely analyze, okay, why? So some people that I know personally are jaded because they didn't have fathers growing up, or they didn't have like an example of what a man was supposed to look like in their house. So every time they meet a man, they think they're gonna be like just like their dad. So they naturally just become jaded from their own past traumas. And I think a lot of the times when you do the inner work and you realize, okay, like not every guy is my dad, because I've actually seen, you know, actual relationships. And even if, you know, you don't know anybody personally who has an active father or is married, you can always look to TV shows. And I know it's fictional, but at the end of the day, it's based off of real life stories. I think that a lot of times, you know, we get so in our heads about what other people have, and we have to be more positive and say, okay, like this is something that people do have. People do fall in love and find love one day, and people do have successful dating stories. I am one of them, guys. You guys watch me. I have to say, my 7 years with my past partner was a beautiful 7 years, and I loved every second of it. And I want to put out there that you can have a successful, loyal, faithful, amazing, respectful relationship where you mutually care deeply about each other, and it can work out. And I'm very blessed that, you know, him and I had that time together. And because of that, I just genuinely know it's gonna happen for me again. I just know it is, because it's just in the cards for me as a person. And you should also feel that way too. So I think that a huge thing that you guys have to do is to not force scenarios for yourself. I think a lot of people want to make somebody theirs and force it. And I think that there's a nice fine line between forcing something, or not fine line, what I'm trying to say is there's definitely a line between forcing something and nurturing something. So I'm not the kind of person that's gonna sit here and say everything should just come so easy, and when you know, you know, you know. And a lot of people do say stuff like that, but I do believe, even just from example I've had of real people in my life who have really successful relationships, is that there is a perfect, you know, sweet spot of just nurturing a relationship, you know, watering the grass, and it grows. But a lot of you are forcing people to be your partners, and then you get upset when it doesn't work out. Well, of course you're gonna be jaded and feeling a type of way, because your own gut you didn't trust. Because at the end of the day, your gut feeling will always tell you if somebody's for you or not, or at least from your perspective. I know a lot of the times people could be doing things behind our backs and our gut isn't saying anything to us because we think that they're a great person, but eventually everything that's done in the dark does come to light. And when you do get that stuff brought to light, then this is where you're supposed to trust your gut and do as you please with that information. For me, relinquishing the control and the obsession with what's gonna happen in your future of dating is going to be your best bet. God will never give you something unless you're ready for it. Like, I personally feel that way. So for me, I verbally said when I became single that I don't want to date for a very long time. I'm not ready. It's not something that I'm trying to jump into. This is Hailey's journey of growing and becoming her own person without help of anyone else. So then I would meet guys and be mad, like, why didn't it work out? Well, of course, because God is not going to give me something that I'm not ready for. And clearly, I said it myself, I am not ready to be with somebody. So of course I'm not going to meet Mr. Right now. And I'm okay with that. And I feel very much at peace with that information, because at the end of the day, every time something doesn't work out between me and whomever it is at the time, I'm like so grateful after like day 2 of like mourning the loss of that relationship, that, you know, I'm back to like myself again, and I'm back to being more centered. Because at the end of the day, let's just call a spade a spade. When you're talking to someone, you really have to like nurture that. You have to make time for them. You have to speak to them all day, which I think is arbitrary at this point, because I don't think we should be speaking to people all day and all night, but that's for a different video. But you know, we're still trying to cater and to nurture a situation that you're getting to know. I definitely don't want you guys to shut out the right guy for yourself or the right girl for yourself because of your experiences of dealing with narcissistic men or guys that lie or cheat or treat you badly. And I get it. You know, a lot of us have been through some crazy stuff. You know, I dated a guy once who he cheated on me like crazy. And like, he was like the nastiest cheater. And this is why, like, even me, like, I hate cheaters because of what he did to me. But he cheated on me so bad. And I walked into my next relationship not putting that pressure on that person. I didn't say to him, I was cheated on, so I don't trust you. Like, I just really believe heavily in giving everybody a clean slate. You're not gonna play in my face though, but I'll give you a clean slate until you show me otherwise. And I think that that is a really healthy way to approach every situation, because it allows for that person to genuinely be themselves. I mean, I don't think we naturally as people would want a guy to come up to us and treat us like their ex-girlfriend. Like, I don't like that. I don't like when guys like do that. And I can always tell when guys do that. Like, I went out with a guy recently who said something to me like, oh, my ex did this and that, so I don't let girls do that stuff to me no more. And whenever I'm thinking, okay, but that's not that serious. And you know, it just shows that you didn't heal and grow from the experience, because you have to identify that that was that person. That's not everyone. So stop generalizing every situation based off of one human being. That's not right. Ways to be healthy with yourself and to not be jaded, I guess, is to just be more self-aware. That's all. You just need to be more self-aware. Being jaded is an unhealthy reaction to being hurt. But being self-aware is a healthy reaction to being hurt, because I think a lot of the times when we are treated badly, it was just because we were ignorant to the situation, and that's okay. Every time we go through something new, we're going to be ignorant to it. For me, I was only cheated, when I was cheated on by this person, there were things that were transpiring prior to me finding out about being cheated on, that now if those things were to transpire again, I would know what's to come, so I wouldn't be ignorant to the situation. So I think that being self-aware is key to everything. Go into every experience free, relinquishing that control and allowing yourself to be open, but don't be so naive and dumb and going into it like, oh, like I'm just gonna let everybody, like walk all over me. No, like be self-aware, know yourself, have healthy boundaries, always, establish those with the person that you're speaking to. And then there's no reason to be jaded, because if they do play in your face, well, then you just peace out, you leave, and you say to yourself, wow, I handled that situation so well. Like I was aware of X, Y, and Z and I left. Like I think that is amazing. And then you go into the next experience resilient, smarter, stronger, and better. There's no reason for you to be overly obsessed with the idea of being like, I hate all men, they're terrible. Because the truth is, they're not. There's a lot of really great guys out there who are getting those titles because women are struggling with, I guess, overcoming a lot of their past traumas with relationships. And like I said, I get it. We've all been through some crazy shit with guys, but every guy that I've met is a little bit different. Like I don't think that they're all the same. I think that there's a lot of things that men carry and that a lot of men have. Like I think that a lot of men lie, whether it's a white lie or a big lie. I think that, a lot of men do lie, but overall, a lot of men are different. And I think that if we just go into dating from a different perspective of just being like, okay, like I'm just gonna see what happens, and I'm gonna go into it being a very genuine person. I'm gonna respect my own boundaries, but I'm gonna be a genuine person and allow for whatever is to happen to flourish. You're going to be so happy you did that, because you're now going to allow somebody really amazing into your life, and you're not gonna have to like be scared of, having anything with them. And the truth is, we all are gonna go through things in life that are going to humble us. And we're gonna be like, wait, why? And then we realize, oh, it was because of this. So for me, I was love bombed recently, and I was trying to figure out like why I didn't see the signs right in the beginning. But I think that naturally it actually humbled me, because a lot of my personality stems from getting validation from others. And a lot of people, could say, well, like, how is that possible? Well, not only is my job all about validation, I mean, being a YouTuber is about people liking you. So it's like a form of validation in itself when you guys watch the videos and like the videos. But it also goes into my dating life, where I seek validation in my partner. So I'll like pay attention to different cues that they give me or the words that they say. And going through this validation journey has really helped me. So no, I am not jaded. That's not a way to describe myself, but I will say that this particular journey of like going through several dating experiences has taught me things about myself, like, oh, well, you seek validation. So when I was love bombed, that was like the last experience that I needed to go through to realize that I actually really just need the validation from myself. I actually am okay with giving myself the compliments and loving myself. I love myself enough for myself. Does that make sense? Like I love myself enough that I don't need so much love from other people and so much admiration from others. I appreciate, I think it's great, but being love bombed by someone where they're like telling you all these great things about yourself, it definitely humbled me in the sense that I was like eating it up. And now taking a step back, I'm like, why do you even care that somebody feels those things about you when you feel those things about yourself? Like there's no reason for you to be so obsessed with somebody liking you. And it's really all about whether, you like them yourself. Sorry, I don't know why this was in the frame. And we have to start being a little bit more choosy with whom we let into our lives. We need to be more open, that when we do let these people into our lives, that we're not holding them to the standard of the other person that was in our life previous. Like we have to always treat everybody like a new individual, regardless of if they're the same or not. We have to give everybody the benefit of the doubt, regardless of how long that is. It could be a week and they screw up, or a month and they screw up, or 2 years and they screw up. Like just be authentic to you. And I think that going into situations in fear and being jaded and heartbroken and traumatic feelings are just going to breed a lot of insecurities and also are gonna attract a lot of negative people in your life. I think being a jaded person will just attract a lot of people in your life that will just continuously perpetuate the same jaded feelings that you've had all of this time. So definitely be more positive in your way of thinking of dating. Go into things more open-minded and be a little bit more carefree about certain things, and allow yourself and trust yourself to make right decisions. When you trust yourself, there's really no reason to feel anything. People are going to always hurt you and play you, but it's really all about how resilient you come out in the end, and how you're able to identify these things, how early you're able to identify them, and things like that. So I think being a little bit more happier and more positive and trustworthy of yourself is just gonna be a great way for you to really change these habits into making it a more healthier way of thinking when it comes to dating. I hope this rant made sense. It was kind of a rant, and I understand this is something that I definitely like to do. But I really think this might help a lot of people who struggle in this area in their life. I think that being jaded is extremely normal. I actually have a few friends that are jaded, and I think that because I just don't feel those feelings, I'm really able to just take a step back and take a breath. I know I'm gonna meet my husband one day. I'm not worried about it. I don't like think about it that often, and I'm not like super scared or anything like that, because I know that it's gonna come and it's gonna be a great guy, and I'm not worried about that at all. So because I've relinquished that control and that obsession, I feel a lot happier and more at peace. And I think you will too. Thank you again, BetterHelp, for sponsoring today's video. I hope you guys really enjoyed it, and let me know down below how you guys been working on being jaded, and if you guys have noticed these things about yourself, or if you've had really successful relationships and you don't really struggle with these things. I would love to hear it all down below. You guys know I love chatting with you guys in the comments. Also, let me know down below any other video ideas that you guys want me to touch on. I love you guys so much. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys. Mwah.